He's coming. Betancourt? He's coming up. Mr. Betancourt's coming. Yeah, he's coming up. Notice of a public meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Brownsville pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act. Notice is hereby given that the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas has scheduled a regular meeting on Thursday, October 3rd, 2024 at 5:33 p.m. in this commission chambers on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall, Old Federal Building located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas, 78520. Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd like to start with a roll call, please. To my extreme right,
Daniel Elgin.
Malia Benson,
David Ramirez.
Eliza Vasquez,
Aida Rodriguez,
David Betancourt. Updates comments?
No true updates or comments. The only thing is, on tonight's agenda, we have the meeting minutes for July and the meeting minutes for September. They're both, well, the July minutes are on there because they were not placed on the agenda, even though the motion was made. Since they were not put on the agenda, it's not valid. So therefore, we're putting them on.
so do we need two separate motions?
We can read them together and you can make one motion saying you approve both, or if you would like, it could be individually.
Approval of the minutes for the regular meeting on July 11, 2024 and September 5th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve both meeting minutes.
Second.
We have a first and a second. There are no changes to the minutes. So we have a first and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Items for individual consideration. Consideration and action to grant a subdivision waiver for Pool subdivision, Esmeralda Estates subdivision, and LEVK subdivision, all located in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city of Brownsville from the municipal plating process and solely proceeding with Cameron County jurisdiction.
Can you change the slides? There we go. So staff recommends the approval of the subdivision waiver for Pool subdivision, being that it's outside city limits.
How large is this subdivision?
It is 0.98 acres. It's for a single family home.
And it's just one lot?
Correct.
Questions?
Martin, was that part of the, it's re-subdivision, so that first little corner was part of it, not removed? That 0.391 acres?
No, that's a different parcel. They share a shared access easement.
Thank you.
The parcel starts where the bold boundary is.
I see.
Any motions?
Do we have a motion for consider an action of item number 1?
So move to accept.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration and action to grant a subdivision waiver for Esmeralda Estates subdivision located in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city of Brownsville from the municipal plating process and solely proceeding with Cameron County jurisdiction.
So same as the previous situation, because this property lies within the county and because it will be built through county standards, staff recommends the approval of the subdivision waiver.
Where is this located?
It's J. Clive Drive off of Alton Glore, well, Dr. Hugh Emerson towards very close to FM 511
Is this, so this is on the south side,
on the north side.
on the north side? Any questions? Do I have a motion?
Excuse me, Martin, flood zone X, that's a flooding zone, correct?
No.
No, flood zone X is the highest elevation.
So move to accept.
Seconded.
We have a first and a second motion. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration and action to grant a subdivision waiver for LEVK subdivision located in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city of Brownsville from the municipal plating process and solely proceeding with Cameron County jurisdiction.
Once again, because it's in the county and because it will be built to county standards, staff does recommend the approval of the subdivision waiver.
So this is 3 lots?
Correct, 3 lots.
On the north side of Florida, and that's a drainage ditch on the east side
Correct,
and the north side.
correct.
Sorry? Yeah, a drain ditch easement. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
I second.
We have a first and second motion. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Consent agenda items. Consideration and action, Greater Brownsville Tech District Phase 1 West Preliminary Plat. Consideration and action, Greater Brownsville Tech District Master Plan.
And so staff does find the subdivision complete, subject to the red lines that are pending to be addressed.
So is this on the south side of 511?
Correct.
And so that street is Paredes Line Road on the east? Or what
On the
street is
east,
that?
there's Paredes Line Road, but this is mainly the large tract that's owned by GBIC, about 700+ acres. They're currently doing a master plan, and the first phase, which is in the red polygon, will consist of, I believe, 12 lots.
So that pond retention used to be the gravel pit or something like that there?
No.
No?
No. No, this property is to the west of Paredes Line Road.
Oh, okay. So the railroad track is not anywhere near here?
The railroad track runs along the bottom, the southern property line.
Okay. Okay. Questions? I have a motion.
Make a motion to approve. Seconded.
We have a first and a second motion, and we're going to go ahead and approve both of them, right?
Correct.
First and second motion for consent agenda items 1 and 2. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Public hearings. Public hearing and action on ordinance number 235-2024-028 to rezone from commercial corridor to light industrial to allow a vehicle salvage yard for 4.19 acres out of Block 24, Chicago Gardens subdivision, Cameron County, Texas, located at 932 North Minnesota Avenue, Brownsville, Texas, 78521.
So as mentioned, this property is fronting North Minnesota Avenue. The current zoning is commercial corridor, and the proposed zoning is light industrial. The proposed use, well, actually, it's an existing use. It's a salvage yard. This is an aerial view of the property. There were 200, this is a 200-foot buffer map. There were 18 ballots and 0 written opposition.
0 opposition?
Well, up until tonight, we don't know if anyone here is here for opposition. This is the zoning map. The zoning that predominates within the area is commercial corridor. There is residential single family to the southwest, residential transition west, agriculture to the north, and residential estate to the east.
That is a mobile home park on the very north, very top of that previous
Yes.
slide, right?
Correct.
Is that a salvage yard north of it also? Is it,
So it's a house.
no.
Is there already another one there?
Is there another one there that's the
South.
top there? Right north of it?
Right.
So that's a salvage yard as well?
Right. Well, there's storage of vehicles. We don't know if it's exactly a salvage yard.
But that's not part of this.
It's not
property.
part of this property, no.
Thank you.
And it's like on a main road where are there?
It's on Minnesota. Minnesota Boulevard?
There's commercial, businesses already there?
Well, these businesses already exist. There is a drive-through directly across the street. Primarily, the uses are residential within the area.
So are they conducting business now legally as a salvage yard?
Right, so they're trying to put it into compliance because I believe their permit with the state has to be renewed. They've been there for quite some time, but I believe the permit renewal requires compliance with,
So they're already in business.
yes, they're already in business.
So it's just a rezoning just to comply for the permits.
Right.
Thank you.
So this request is not consistent with the comprehensive plan and future land use plan. However, staff remains neutral and will follow the recommendation of the commission, primarily because this is an existing use.
So what happens if it gets denied?
If it gets denied, then it becomes a non-compliant property, and therefore an enforcement action will begin.
Is this an owner or someone who is leasing the property as a
I
junket?
believe it's an owner, and I believe they're here to answer any questions. Yes.
Up for public hearing.
How long? Yeah.
They're leasing.
Up.
They're leasing.
So they're not there, the owner is not there, he's leasing it.
Just- Well, can you open the public hearing? The public comment?
No, it's not. No.
Okay, you already made the motion?
No, we haven't. We need to make a motion.
Okay, so move to open for public hearing.
I second.
We have a first and second. All those in favor of opening item number 1 for public hearing? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Puedes pasar.
Buenas tardes, habla Jorge Martínez. ¿Qué es lo que necesitan saber para yo explicarles? Es que como no hablo inglés,
¿Cuántos años tiene de estar en negocio ahí?
ok, yo empecé de menos a más. O sea, yo empecé trayendo carros y yo rentaba nomás ahí en la casa, pero fui creciendo y creciendo a tal grado que quiero hacer las cosas como me está pidiendo el gobierno. Entonces, de ahí rentando, sí, es que lo que pasa es que empecé hace 5 años, pero poquito, poquito, y fui creciendo, creciendo, creciendo. Entonces, ya me expandí un año fue lo fuerte ahorita, lo que están viendo en las fotos. Y yo ya me di de alta con LLC y viene yo no sabía de la rezonificación. Entonces, ese es mi siguiente paso. Entonces, yo estoy aprendiendo lo que me están diciendo y estoy haciendo las cosas como me lo está pidiendo la ciudad, porque estoy dentro de la ciudad y necesito que me ayuden para hacer las cosas. Yo ya me chequé y explicaron que estoy dentro de la zona comercial. Yo estoy en la parte de atrás, yo no estoy en parte de enfrente. Ustedes ya vieron las fotos. Entonces, dígame qué es lo que tengo que hacer.
Can we go to the next photo? That one.
No.
Okay, so where exactly is he, Martín?
Sí. Yo vivo enfrente, pero no vendo a vehículos. Ahí descargan y se esperan las 72 horas que pide Customs para cruzarlos a México. O sea, no me llegan, bajan los carros, se parquean ahí, se suben a otra trailer y se cruzan para México. Eso es todo, es un parqueadero nada más.
¿Y cuál lote es?
El del lado derecho, el de azul no, el del lado derecho,
Abajo del azul,
no,
¿verdad?
ahí arriba, el de arriba.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
It says 932.
Sí.
Okay, I see it now.
932, it's this one right here.
So, but the request is to change the whole thing.
Yes, we go based on application.
Mhm.
¿Y a dónde está el dueño?
Yo rento ahí y el dueño no pudo venir. ¿Tiene que venir el dueño?
No, porque usted está cambiando, usted quiere que nosotros cambiamos la zona, pero usted está rentando, usted
Sí,
no es
señor.
el dueño.
No sé el nombre de quién están, pero es Rodrigo, ¿verdad? Rodrigo.
However, Mr. Rodrigo Garcia, property owner, provided authorization for Mr. Martinez to represent.
Thank you.
¿Y tú quieres cambiar el parte de aquí de frente, enfrente, con las casas?
¿Perdón?
¿Quieres cambiar la parte de aquí enfrente con las casas? Porque así se marca.
Pero
Am I wrong or?
So that's the owner owns everything that's in dark red, within the circle of dark red, that's that whole property right there.
Mhm.
So you're asking to change the whole zoning. So what's gonna happen with the residential part of it, where the house is at? It won't be residential anymore, correct? ¿Alguien vive en la casa ahorita? ¿En esa casa es edificio
does.
para oficina o es donde viven?
En mero enfrente está la casa donde
Sí.
yo vivo y enseguida tengo mi oficina.
¿O usted vive ahí? Esa es
Sí,
su
señor.
casa, su hogar.
Así en mero enfrente.
Ok, gracias.
Any other questions? This is a public hearing. If there's anyone else in the audience that would like to address this? Do we have anyone else? What is the wish of the board?
We're next to a business, the blue warehouses. My name's, Javier Martinez. The ones on the blue, that's another business, warehouses. We're next to another business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not affecting no residentials or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? We're just next to, we just want to rezone it because we're, like my cousin said, we're expanding, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we've been in this bed, all we do is transport, you know what I'm saying? We're a transport company.
So Martinez, it is correct for the warehouse, the zoning it has now. The one that he's saying that is next door. That one's not either.
Again, please.
The other one either.
Right.
None of them? Or just that one?
The warehouse types or logistics or storage of vehicles.
All of them.
So even the one that right now on that map says CC, that's non-conforming
So
also.
none of them. So the only one, we're gonna change just that one to light industrial, and they're all under CC.
Yeah.
They're all under CC right now, so the only one we're changing is just that one. Right, that's all we're gonna change, but all the other ones are still non-conforming CC.
So at some point, they're going to come back
Right.
to planning and zoning. I know. Do, any other questions? For the tenant? I need a motion to close public hearing.
So move to close public hearing.
I second.
We have a first and a second motion to close public hearing. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. What is the wish of the commission?
Can they change to just accepting that back portion that they're already in use? And not touching that, where the houses are at, off the main road?
No,
Or is that-
because that's not how they applied.
Would they would have to reapply for that, if that was the case? Oh. Got you.
It's a residence, but that's the right of way.
You don't want to do.
I'd like to make a motion to deny it this time.
I'll second that.
We have a first and a second motion to deny item number 1. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. You want to explain to him what just happened?
Lo acaban de negar el caso. Dice quién queda por.
And he still has an option to go in front of city commissioners. And if you'll explain that to him too.
Public hearing and action on ordinance number 235-2024-029 to rezone from agriculture to residential transition to allow a single-family and townhome development for 27.18 acres comprised of 16.58 acres out of Block 3 and 10.60 acres out of Block 6. El Jardín subdivision, Cameron County, Texas, located at Dana Avenue, Brownsville, Texas, 78526.
So the current zoning for this property is agriculture. The proposed zoning is residential transition R3. The proposed use will be for single-family homes and a townhome development. This is the CDCB development. The property is fronting Dana Avenue. This is a 200-foot buffer map. There were 62 mailouts, 0 opposition. I believe there are some people in the audience who are here for this item. And as the arrow shows, there's residential to the south. There's already a multifamily development along the frontage of Dana Road. However, that particular development lies outside city limits. Just to point out, if you recall, this particular parcel was recently annexed into the city, so that's why they're having to go through the zoning change, because when a parcel is annexed into the city, it comes in automatically as agriculture zoning. So this is the zoning map. Everything to the east of Dana is outside city limits except this parcel. To the west, we have R1 and R2. This is another aerial view of the property. And this request is consistent with the comprehensive plan and future land use plan. Staff does recommend the approval to rezone from agriculture to residential transition.
Can we go back to the previous slide? All right, so all those new little townhouses there, is that part of CDC development?
It's a CDCB development, not within the city limits.
Not within the city limits. And then we have West Wind Drive, so that's all single family?
Right,
And that's already an established neighborhood, right?
correct.
Well,
134. 34. Yes.
And that's what I was gonna mention.
There's
There's 3 schools there.
2 or 3 schools. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
There's, yeah, Freedom, Harmony, and
a two-lane road.
is there any plans to develop that road?
there is plans, I believe they're in the in the revised CAP for the city. There's plans to upgrade within the next 5 years.
Is there drainage available for all those homes? Can the city handle it?
Well, it's not a matter of the city handling it. Every new subdivision, as explained in our previous presentation, each developer is responsible for providing the proper drainage, whether it be through detention areas and then having a final outfall on existing drain ditches. There is a drain ditch nearby owned by the Cameron County Drainage District number 1. I mean, there's just to provide an example, there's situations sometimes where an engineer working on a subdivision proposes a method of drainage, and once the drainage district reviews, they will sometimes say, you know what, we don't have enough capacity. If you want to drain into our system, there's situations where they tell them they have to pay for widening the ditch to create more volume, or they have to provide more on-site detention within their subdivision, which would mean that they would potentially lose lots to accommodate that detention area.
Is this the street that they are gonna develop, make bigger in the future, or are there plans for that?
Yes, within the next 5 years, it's part of the CIP.
Can we go ahead and open up for public hearing?
So move to open for public hearing.
Second.
We have first and a second to open up item number 2 for public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. This is a public meeting. If there's anyone in the audience would like to address this, if you would come forward, please. Yes,
Good
sir.
evening. My name is Robert Lucio, my wife Diana Lucio. We live on Soul Road across the street, across the Resaca, in the buffer zone, at the very south part of that buffer zone right there. We bought out there in 2000. We've been there almost 25 years now. And we've seen planning and zoning approve these subdivisions here that is directly across from our property. And now considering this one, and there's more properties to the north. It's going to happen. It's going to happen over and over and over. Now, we've seen it go from a really beautiful Resaca property to a cluttered on the other side. The way they developed was just not good. It was just tons of houses right next door to each other, neighbors an arm length away from their neighbors. Anyway, we know that we're limited in what we can do, and unfortunately, but we have questions. And one of the questions that we have is that somewhere we saw a proposed bridge and road crossing right through the edge of, across the Resaca into Soul Road. Does anybody know about that? And can we have information about that?
Do you have any, oh. Would you? Well,
We have another.
okay, go ahead, Mr. Lucio.
Actually, I want to, what is the dotted line that's around the perimeter? What actually does that mean?
That's the 200-foot buffer space. So any homes within that dotted line are the ones that the P and Z sent letters out to announcing this case was coming before the planning and zoning.
Okay, does it have any impact on, I mean, the only impact would be just so we could, come and find out information, or is something actually going to take place within that buffer zone?
Well, the reason that the city does that is to let the people within that buffer zone have the opportunity to come ask questions, to have input, whether in favor or not in favor of this project. And so people like you that come forward, we take that into consideration, your comments.
Okay.
There will be no construction or any development in that area, if that's what you're concerned about.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get clarification on.
It's just that hashed section that's in.
When considering the zone change, what kind of environmental study? I know that the county and the city just got awarded some grant money for Resaca restoration. And what kind of studies have been done when we change this kind of ag property to residential? What kind of study takes place for them to come up with, for you all to come up with a plan that approves the builder's plan? What's been done? What kind of study's been done, and with who?
That's beyond the scope of planning and zoning board. The entity that's doing the Resaca restoration is the Brownsville Public Utilities Board, along with other state agencies. And so I don't know what kind of studies they do before they continue with the Resaca restoration.
We came to Boise. We're Cameron County residents and lifelong Brownsville, Texas natives. We love our environment. Sometimes we have to consider when taking these type of properties and turning them into residential lots, what's going to be built there, how it affects the environment, the wildlife, the quality of life, people living on these areas, because, we've seen it go from, just a pristine place to a place where maybe it's very questionable the way we plan things. And you all are in charge of planning, zoning and planning, and so we're concerned about that. It's something that's, would be common for you guys as well, where you live and what happens, but we'll see what, the plans are. Our concern was exactly where we live here, right in that south part of that buffer zone. There is an area that years ago that there was planning to put a bridge or a road that goes all the way across through Soul Road, so you could access, you know, some different places or, and have an exit out of there. I don't know, but that's what we're here to find out.
We appreciate your comments.
And I think I understood correctly. You said that property just recently got annexed into the city.
Yes.
Okay, is this property that's not in that red zone, is this still part of the county? Okay, because on the other side of the Resaca is county, so I'm wondering, one of the issues that we have with these, all these homes that are so close together and so many people in them is just, noise. I mean, we've got people that are playing music till 3 a.m, you know, constantly having to call the sheriff to see, you know, if anything could be done. Now, this property would be in the city, I'm assuming, well, we've been told that county ordinances do not, there are no county ordinances regarding noise and situations with the music, but I believe there is a city ordinance for something like that.
I'm not sure what they are, but.
But
assume
I'm
that-
just wondering what kind of impact, since, you know, one side you got city property and on the other side is county property. And I'm not real sure what kind of impact that has on those sorts of things.
Can you answer that for her, Martin?
I guess, starting with the easiest question. The dotted line is basically just to represent the buffer zone that's required by state law for us to send mail outs to the surrounding properties. State law says that we have to send out mail outs within 200 feet of the property that's being rezoned. So if your property falls within that dotted line, you will receive a letter. And that's the sole purpose of that dotted line. It doesn't mean that there's going to be development with that within the bold line and the dotted line. It just represents that buffer. As for the bridge, that is accurate. There is still a bridge being proposed. It's going to be on Morrison Road, further north on Dana, I believe. There's an extension of Morrison Road. And through the connection of Morrison Road across the Resaca, there will be a bridge eventually built to provide a connection. As for the noise, there are noise ordinances applicable to the city. However, because they live in the county, the authority that they would call is the sheriff, and the sheriff cannot apply city ordinances on properties that are outside of their jurisdiction. So I guess it would be a matter of asking our legal department, but I don't think if a complaint comes from the county side, that the authority from the county, which would be the sheriff's department, would be able to go into city property and try and enforce a city ordinance that is not within their authority or jurisdiction.
So the question becomes, can they, as county residents, call the city to complain about the noise?
No, because they're not part of the city.
So it's kind of a catch-22 there. But we can ask our legal department.
Well, we can inquire, but there's been similar situations where, or similar, questions that have an extent a relation with topics of properties within and outside, city limits. And that has been the primary situation.
I believe we have the developer here, and he might be able to answer some of your questions as well. Thank you, Mr. Lucio.
Hello, I'm Leo Barrera. I'm the Director of Real Estate Development for CDCB. And I just wanted to address Mr. Lucio's concern about the lots there. I actually spoke with him when we were trying to get this subdivision approved through the county. County didn't like it because of our density. But I did hear you about all the lots there. So we actually have a plan, all the Resaca frontage that we have, that's actually going to be a community park, right? Because I took what you said to kind of our designers and we thought it'd be a better use of space for the community to be a park instead of, trying to maximize profits per se by selling Resaca lots along that.
So there's not going to be any residential lots along the Resaca.
They're just, can I point here? So just, it disappears. Just the bottom corner, I think there's 4 lots that are, because it's a continuation of this street right here below. I forget what it's called. I can't see, but the road here that's to the far right of that image, there's 4 more lots that'll be Resaca lots, but the rest will be a community park.
And what size are those 4 lots going to be?
50 by 100. I think they're kind of
5,000
regular
square feet.
residential. Yeah, 5,000 square feet. The reason that we're doing R3 too is the center cluster of the neighborhood would be kind of smaller lots. They're 3,000, 3,500. I forget off the top of my head. I don't know if you're aware, but we have a product that we're building. It's a volumetric modular design product that can be a 1-1 all the way up to like a 4-2, very kind of small. So we're kind of hoping to do something a bit more dense in the center and then regular 5,000 square foot all around the perimeter of the acreage.
Have you done a study on the traffic?
We haven't done a study on the traffic, but I also know Cameron County has plans, and it's the, I'll tell you right now. The Cameron County Regional Mobility Authority, they have a plan to extend from Alton Glore to further south of this piece of Dana to expand the road. And it varies in width. I think there's some areas that are 26. We developed the apartments here and we did kind of a 12-foot extension to do like a pull off, like a decel lane. But I think the county is gonna expand to almost 56 feet or something like that in their plans. So
What
there is
year?
plans
What
still.
year did you say? What year?
I don't know the year, but I think that's right within 5 years. But I know they've been having kind of public engagement meetings, the county, to talk about the widening of the road. And that includes sidewalks and I think like a hike and bike trail. There's a few things that they're gonna expand to all along from Alton Glore to, I don't think it'll reach all the way to 802, but maybe to, I think Jubilee, this Jubilee school, right, that's there?
Yes.
Yeah. So from Alton Glore to more or less the Jubilee area.
A question, how long will it take you to develop and start placing homes? Because I'm thinking about this 5-year plan for the roads. So how long will it take you all to get this developed and start construction?
It'll probably take us 8 to 9 months to develop the lots to be ready for vertical construction. After that, I mean, houses take us anywhere from like 90 to 150 days to drop on the lots.
2 years. Thank you.
And yeah, I feel like there's probably the entrance here, there'd be another reason to add more of like a decel lane to be a kind of buffer between by the time we develop to when the city or the county, expand everything. And, wonder if, yes, so, okay, the bridge, so like I said, we first started with the county doesn't have kind of an R3 designation, that's why we requested the annexation with the city. I have been talking with folks in the multimodal department, and so we're gonna, request that the thoroughfare that cuts through the property here and onto Soul Road be removed. So I don't think there's a need for that anymore, right? Like Morrison's further north, so that thoroughfare isn't needed. So we're gonna ask that it be removed.
Questions? Is this going to be a senior community, low-income housing, or
No,
a mix?
it'll be a mix of different things. There's not, it's a subdivision, 134 lots. I don't know if, did you bring the slide for that? It's not, I guess we're not there yet. Yeah. Yeah, so we're working on a plan now. It's pretty locked down, but like we're going through the process, right? First we have to get annexed, now we have to go through the rezoning, then we'll submit, our plat for the subdivision, and our engineers here in the room too, if you have any kind of more detailed specific questions. Obviously, we're working on drainage, so I know kind of drainage came up a little bit too, so we'll plan accordingly and be, all within the rules for that, so. And it'll be a mix. I know you asked, it's our subdivisions vary, young families, elderly couples. The good thing I think about the project that we're building, this volumetric modular housing, a lot of seniors are coming to us right now because they're downgrading or looking for something new that, they've been in something dilapidated before. So we can build 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 500 square feet for under 100K, right? So it's something affordable for, a senior living option. It's not solely that, but I think we kind of have a design to meet everyone's needs depending on where they're at.
And low maintenance for our elderly.
Mm-hmm. And another reason for the smaller lots, right? So someone does want a 1-1, we put it on the smaller lot, they have less grass to cut, so.
Right.
Yeah, I think it'll be a nice community, and I don't know, do they ever see the plat? Does the plat come through this? Yeah, so there's like walking paths, we're gonna do something a little different, we'll see what you guys think when you get there, but a lot of walking paths through here, so we're hoping it's not a standard subdivision, it'll be a bit unique, and we're excited about the community.
And what's the name of the subdivision?
It'll be Inwood 3.
What was that?
Inwood 3.
Inwood 3, okay. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am?
Yeah, I'd like to know if the lots that are next to it are also county property, or was just this little section annexed into the city?
Only that.
So this is going to remain county property. Yeah, I have some concerns about that.
Well, to address concerns, the city cannot annex at will. It's only through petition. So they came forward and requested the annexation. These will remain county unless the property owner says that they want to be part of the city. That would be the only way. We're not allowed to do it at will.
Okay, well, I know that I don't have that much say, but if it makes any difference, I formally object to doing this thing. As you can see from the photo, it's full of trees, it's wild, and it just, I just have an objection to tearing all that down to put more houses.
I wanted to tell you guys, real quick, and we'll let it go. But, it's good to be here, to see you guys doing this kind of very, very important work, because, you all have to have tremendous vision. This is gonna be forever. Once you build on that, that's it. It's over. And So you take a piece of property like that, and I'm not against a developer or any of these guys. I hope they do the right thing on the way they build their plots here. But we're concerned because we've seen it just in 1999, 2000, when we first saw this property. There was nothing across, nothing south of there with the proposed property. It's the most gorgeous little piece of property you've ever seen because it was wild. And the Resacas that we have are pristine. The wildlife in the Resacas are phenomenal. And so people come and they don't always take care of the things that we hope they do. So it's very normal for the two of us here to come and say this. And I hope that going forward, if we said anything that makes sense to you, please take it at heart because we are honest and we're passionate about this kind of things. And, so thank you for having us. I appreciate you.
We appreciate your input. Unfortunately, as the city grows, we need to make room.
So move to close public hearing.
Second.
We have a first and a second to close public hearing for item number 2. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion closed, approved. What is the wish of the board? Need a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion to approve as per staff's recommendation.
I second.
I'm sorry, that was a motion to approve.
Approve as per staff's recommendation.
We have a first and we have a second.
Madam Chair, I recuse myself.
Okay, thank you. We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? 1 nay. Motion carries. We have enough. Mr. Lucio, you still have the opportunity to go in front of the city commissioners to voice your opinion.
Public hearing and action on ordinance number 235-2024-030S to request a specific use permit in a commercial corridor zoning designation to allow a used car lot for 0.22 acres out of the south half of Lot 3, Block 1 of the Samano partition of Wymore Estate subdivision, Cameron County, Texas, located at 7201 Paredes Line Road.
Yes, so this request is a specific use permit to allow a used car lot. The current zoning is commercial corridor, and the property is fronting Paredes Line Road. This is a 200-foot buffer map. There were 11 mailouts and 0 written opposition. As you can see in the area, there are other car lots that are in use that are currently operating. This one in particular, that does have a certificate of occupancy. They have to renew their permits. And because of that, they're just having to be put into compliance with the city and with the state. This is a zoning map. What predominates is commercial corridor, high industrial to the east, as well as light industrial. There's also a regional center to the north. And this is another aerial view of the property. The request is not consistent with the comprehensive plan and future land use plan. However, because it's an existing use, staff remains neutral and will follow the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission. However, if approved, as with other used car lots, the following conditions remain, which they have reflected on their site plan, or they're in agreement to reflect on their site plan, which is the organized parking of inventory within the property, additional vegetation, buffers and screening if necessary, storage of inventory within the property, nothing within the right of way, unloading of inventory within the property, no closing or blocking of right of way lanes, masonry wall if the use is abutting a single family home, which in this case is not, and any nuisances produced by mechanic or body work shall all be done within enclosed areas. Any questions?
Can we go back to the previous slide? There.
This one?
No, the one that had it, yeah, there we go. So it's not the whole thing east to west, it's just the front part,
Right,
which is 0.22 acres.
correct. Now, it was explained to them that because they're only using the 0.22 acres, everything else has to be cleared from the property because the remainder, all that clutter cannot be on the property because it doesn't have the adequate zoning or permitted use for vehicle storage,
And
which would be,
they understand that they're gonna have to clean all that up.
right,
So that's everything from the little square, everything behind it
that's
has to
correct.
be cleared out.
And they're gonna have to do CMU walls.
In this case, they're not abutting a single family home, so they don't have to put CMU walls. The
Okay.
CMU walls are only triggered
Resident.
when there's residential use next to it. In this case, because it's business on both sides, they can put a wooden privacy fence.
But they will have to put a fence.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the driveway right there in the middle between the two, correct?
What's that?
That's the driveway right there in the middle? The driveway right in the middle there? between
Right.
it and- okay.
Right.
So they're only gonna work within that area, that's it?
Right.
Okay.
And it's not right, well, what I consider Paredes Line Road, it's kind of the little road off Paredes. Line
Right, it
Road.
would be basically the front end
The
road
frontage.
next to the overpass.
How much time are you all giving them to clear out the rest of the lot? Do they have a time
Well,
limit?
since there's conditions that apply, they're gonna request a certificate of occupancy, and for the certificate of occupancy, there's inspections that are done. So whenever there's inspections done, that part of, or one of the conditions to give them their final CO would be the clearing of the land plus all the conditions that are part of the ordinance.
Open public hearing.
So
Need a
move to
motion?
open public hearing?
Seconded.
We have a first and a second motion to open public hearing. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Do we have anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on this issue? Ma'am, did you want to say something? Oh, well, come forward.
I'm the owner of the business. I'm right next door, actually. I do have a certificate of occupancy at this time, right?
Are you on the north or south side?
On the south side, on this side? No, right here. Yeah, on the south side.
Side?
Yes, I do have all my permits from the state, everything. I don't have to renew at this time till next year. I'm just doing this with time. My office is actually probably 50 feet away from the new office. The only thing is that the new office falls in that address. So that's why I'm asking for the specific use permit. But I already have.
State your name for the record.
Oh, yes, Maria Trevino.
Oh, it's the reason. Okay. So you're not the property owner for this
No, I
property?
do have my,
No, even though she's leasing, the owner provided, an authorization.
Authorization for her?
authorization letter for, yes, in my back.
Okay, so you're leasing from the property owner?
Yes, from Mr. Jorge Mascor.
And then you own this property to the south?
To the side, I'm on the side right now. My business is right there, but I want to improve and move to the other property. It's in
Oh.
higher ground, yeah.
I see, I see. And so you have so what are you doing with your property now? You have a used car lot?
Yes, I do have a used car lot right there.
Okay. And so all the vehicles on the west side of this little track, are those your vehicles there or do they belong to the owner?
This one's right?
Yes.
No, those used to be, I believe, how long ago was that? Because there's not a,
Yeah, well, these arrow views, they might be a bit outdated.
Yeah, because we've been
But
clearing
because
everything
they
out.
show up on the image, we do point out that if there's vehicles, they
Yes.
have to remove.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
There has been testimony that most of them have already been.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm only moving for improvement.
Do you have any other questions?
So move to close public hearing.
We have a first and a second to close public hearing for item number 3. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Trevino. What is the wish of the commission?
Martin, north, the lot north of it, what do they do there? Is that also a used car lot,
Yes.
right north of it?
Yes, the one north of it. Actually, probably 8 months ago, this commission approved a specific use permit for it.
They've been there a while too, several years.
Yes, it had been in existence and operating legally for quite some time.
I motion to approve the specific use permit.
A second.
We have a first and a second motion to approve item number 3. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
So move motion to adjourn.
I second.
We have a first and a second motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? At 6:32, meeting has been adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.